welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I am here on the floor because I have another haul video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but if you're new to my channel, I lived in America for most of my adult life and now I live in Europe. So I still have a lot of things in America, in Arizona specifically, in storage that I haven't brought over to Europe yet. It's just kind of been a long process. And so every time a family member comes here, or my mom, she lives in France as well, she goes to Arizona to visit, she brings me back a suitcase of stuff. So I have stuff that was in my storage unit. I also have new things that I purchased that are maybe just a little bit more difficult to purchase here in Europe. So there's a little bit of everything. I also just figured I've been purchasing some other things that came here that I haven't done videos on. So I just throw those in that didn't necessarily come from America that I just ordered straight to the house. There is a lot, so we'll just kind of do an all-encompassing haul. So I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe. If you like haul videos, give this video a thumbs up. I will have chapters just listed below because I have a feeling this might be a little bit chatty. And with all that, let's just get started going through all the things that I brought from America over here to Europe. All right, there's a lot to get through, so let's just get started. There's actually two suitcases here. There's one that you can see, and then there's one underneath here. So this is kind of just my payment for taking care of my mom's farm. So I do rent like a little apartment, a little 2-bedroom apartment that's on my mom's property, and she owns a farm. So if she leaves, someone has to take care of the animals. And that ends up being me, and the payment in return is she brings back some of my things. So let's just go over it. I did go through this last night before this video and just try and sort. You'll see why. But I first want to start with this because this was actually a gift from my sister. I did not purchase this, but I'm wearing part of it today. So my sister's job, and this is where it's going to get a little chatty. My sister's job is she builds concert stages, etc. Like if there's any events, she'll build those out in Arizona. And I'm very proud of her. She loves her job. She might not be able to continue working, but she worked on the Taylor Swift concert. And Taylor Swift always does her first concert in Phoenix. So she worked on that concert for over a month. Taylor Swift was there practicing, rehearsing. They were getting the stage correct. I don't really know the nuances of all of that, but Taylor Swift was practicing, rehearsing, etc. while they fixed and changed the stage. So she got me merch from the Taylor Swift concert, and then she got me, every time she has like a gig or a job, the crew get like a t-shirt. So she gave me her Taylor Swift local crew t-shirt, just so, I don't know, I thought it was fun. I thought it was super sweet of her. I love it. This is a small, but it's very baggy and big. I don't know if it's a men's small. It's fine. I don't mind it oversized and big. It's very comfy. It's been raining for like 2 weeks now, and I'm so over the rain. It was sunny for like 3 days, and then the rain just came. But I was just a little surprised on how big it is for a small. Anyways, this was a gift from her, and I'm so thankful. Like I said, I don't know if she's going to be able to continue her job. It's a little bit sad. This was like a last-minute trip for my mom. She was not planning on going out. Unfortunately, my sister was in a pretty terrible car accident. She's doing well. Thankfully, nothing was broken. There wasn't too much serious damage, but it probably means she's not going to be able to work a very labor-extensive job. And it's been a little bit tough for me. I'm not going to lie, like just having my mom go out last minute and I had to stay back to take care of the animals. It's one of those things that you just don't think about when you're moving continents on the distance. Like I couldn't just fly out there and be with her. It was very tough for me. Like I said, it was a pretty serious accident, and I'm so thankful and fortunate that she was okay. Someone rear-ended her on the freeway going 90 miles an hour. Her car flipped multiple times, and it could have been a lot worse. So my mom booked a flight the next day and she left. So a lot of these things I purchased as a coping mechanism. A lot of this was coping. You can definitely tell just where my mental head's at on the amount of purchases. But luckily, you know, end result, my sister's okay. I want to keep this video positive, but I did want to mention that just because it was like a last minute trip. It's been really weighing on my mind. It's been hard to film videos. It's been hard to do videos. My videos haven't been that great as of recent, I don't feel like. So I'm trying to start a new leaf now that it's been a couple of weeks. It already was like a very tough April. I talked about that in my Chatty Get Ready With Me, which I'll link above. I don't want to go over that again, but it's been tough, and I'm just trying to wake up today and start fresh. I have a bunch of, new exciting things to go over, and I think my sister's just really past the hump. So after I talked about her, I wanted to get that just like off my chest. And now that's why I mentioned the chapters. Now we're going to get into the fun, exciting, not sad stuff. So the first thing that I purchased, let's go over like the biggest purchase, was this. So this is a laser hair removal device. I've been wanting one for like years and years. I finally did some research, look at it, decided on the one that I wanted, and I decided to bite the bullet and get one. I've gotten laser treatments for like hair removal in the past, and it works really well, but you do have to get touch-ups, and it's been 6 years probably since I got laser hair removal. So like I said, you do need to kind of do touch-ups, and I wanted to try an at-home one because back then I did it in a salon. So I'm going to see how that works. I've seen really good positive reviews on it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do like a very extensive 30-day before and after, 2 months or something like that. I haven't decided yet, but that was my biggest purchase. And then next, this might be like somewhat random category wise, but this actually wasn't a purchase. So all of this is nail polish. If you didn't know this about me, which you probably don't, I don't talk about it a lot on my channel here because it's more beauty than nails. I love doing my nails. I have polygel on right now, and then I have a hard gel overlay, and I do my nails myself. It's something that I really loved. When I was 18, I actually considered going to nail school and becoming a nail tech. I ended up not doing that. I'm 33 now, but I ended up not doing that because I didn't want to do French nails on old ladies all day. So it wasn't like a dream I pursued, but I do still love nail polish. And I want to talk about this because it kind of prefaces this. I, in Arizona, had thousands, and that's not an exaggeration, thousands of bottles of nail polish. So in the past year, I went to Arizona last year, was the last time I was back there. I started selling off a lot of my collection. I want to not have so much stuff. I don't want to live a minimalist lifestyle, but I don't want to have so much. And I started selling my collection. Most people don't know anything about nail polish, and that's fine. I buy a lot of indie polishes, so I'm just gonna maybe show you an example here. Indie nail polish, just like indie makeups, made at home. So they're usually like specialty finishes, and it can be quite the lucrative business. Let me just tell you, reselling these, probably noticed in my empties video, I talk about Bee's Knees lacquer a lot. I use their meringue. They also make indie polish. I had over 200 bottles from Bee's Knees lacquer, maybe even 300, and they went out of business. The owner had health problems. She decided ultimately that her health came first, which is great. And so they went out of business. And once they went out of business, prices of those bottles of polish went up. So I kind of just got lucky with my timing when I was selling. That's where the money for most of this came from. That's why I kind of just want to preface this, because I really just decided to post my entire collection, and I'm only going to keep what didn't sell. So I didn't keep any of my Bee's Knees lacquer. They ended up all selling, and those bottles, a bottle of nail polish cost anywhere from $10 to $12. Maybe up to 18, very rarely depending on the pigments that are used. But because you can no longer get those polishes, most of those sold anywhere from $50 to $100 a bottle, and I had 300. So you can do your math on that. But not only did I have that, I had thousands of other bottles. I decided to only keep a handful. There was very, very small criteria on what polish I could keep, and I'm not going to go through every single one. If nail polish is something that you're interested in, I could maybe do a small video on my polish collection, but I just wanted to show this was my bag that I was going to keep, and I decided to only keep collections based on things that I love. And specifically, there was 2 TV shows that are my favorite all-time comfort shows. It's Golden Girls and the show Psych. If you've ever seen those two, those are my comfort shows. So there was collections based on those TV shows, and I decided those were the only ones I was going to keep. And after that, just sell and see kind of where it goes from there. But these are all those polishes from that. So I have all these that I need to sort and put away. After that, here's my mom. Luckily, she shipped so much polish for me. I'm so grateful because she was really like a little worker bee, packing, finding, like there was a lot of nail polishes. She's like, I don't know what this looks like. And I had to have to send her a picture so she could find it on this table of just polish. I'll post a photo that I have of what the table looked like, just covered in nail polish, but she kept one of the receipts I wanted to show you from the post office shipping it. And it's a lot. Now let's go into things that I purchased with that money. One of the first things I picked up was the Ace Beauté new palettes. They're flower ones. I ended up getting Fleur, Calla, and Begonia. I did not get the yellow leaning one. You know, I wasn't gonna get these at first. Honestly, they were gonna be a pass for me. Like I mentioned, when I get sad, I end up buying things, but I really liked the cover of these with the real flowers, and the pan sizes don't bother me. I know they were bothering some people, but here's kind of, this is Calla, so it's more of a neutral. Here is Fleur, which is more purple, and then Begonia, which kind of reminds me of Give Me Glow and the Vintage Rose palette. It kind of, I would have to compare it, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. And shout out to Ace Beauté because I ordered these, and normally I look at what the processing time is, and for some reason I just did not do that with this. And this was not shipping. My mom was there for 2 weeks. This was not shipping. And so I looked on the website for the processing time. It said 2 to 3 weeks. And I was like, dang it, I messed up. It's not going to get there in time for my mom to bring it back. And I emailed them and I was like, hey, you know, I understand your processing time. Can I actually change the shipping address to France? I'm happy to pay the extra shipping. I just thought that this would be able to get to Arizona. I'm visiting, etc. And they shipped it out next day to Arizona and got it there and put it in the front of the line. And it was really, really nice. I was not expecting that of them. They did not have to do that. So really great customer service. And I'm happy I have these and I'm excited to try them out. Now, the next thing that I got, this, I don't know what I was thinking. And even as I was placing the order, I was like, Melissa, what are you doing? But I purchased lashes. And if you watched Shop My Stash, you know why this is just not the smartest thing for me, because I've never really worn false lashes on a day-to-day basis. However, I saw someone on YouTube, I saw that Lily Lashes came out with this brown blended, more natural looking lash. And I was like, I have to have those. I'm gonna try and start wearing false lashes soon, so clearly I need these. And then I purchased 2 others from their butterfly collection because this is what I have in Shop My Stash right now. So I'm gonna try these out. We'll see how long they last me. I'm gonna add them to my drawer of never opened eyelashes and see if eventually I get to these. But I just wanted them. I wanted the brown version, so I got them. And then I purchased a bunch of drugstore stuff. So let me just get it all out of here. So I want to do a video ranking and trying all of my Maybelline foundations. I've kind of been doing a series so-and-so on foundations and brands. I've ranked all of my Dior foundations. That video hasn't gone up yet, but I did film it and it's going to go up in the next week or so. Then I also did my Chanel foundation ranking. I'll link that video above. And I did another brand, I don't remember, but I plan on doing Maybelline and then Nars as well. So there was a few Maybelline foundations that I was missing. So I ended up picking them up because sometimes they can be a little bit tough to get here if they're not in store, and getting them on Amazon. So I got the Dream BB Fresh and then I got the Dream BB Pure. I'm gonna find out the difference between the two of these and see how that goes. I also have to see if some of these are discontinued because this one is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, the Lifter. I've never seen this foundation, so maybe they don't make it anymore, but it kind of has like that swirly swirl that CoverGirl also has. So I got that one since I didn't have it yet. I also picked up the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation Stick, which this I had also never seen, and it looks like it kind of melted into the top there. Okay. All right, that's okay. We're just gonna push that down. It'll be fine. There's sometimes just casualties that happen transporting stuff through the airport. So I got this one, and then the other one, I got a few other ones. I got the green edition Maybelline. So this one, I'm kind of just interested to see if this is like the Super Stay Skin Tint, because I do have that one. I did a video on it, which I can link. And I don't know, I'm interested to see, because this didn't really do well. I kind of want to see if it's the same formula and that they just repackaged, re-promoted the skin tint. And then the last one is the Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. So those were the just Maybelline foundations I was missing. I'm looking over it. Oh, sorry, I missed one. I also have the Matte and Poreless. So I actually finished an entire bottle of this foundation. I had it in one of my very, very first empties. I usually wear the shade 120. I finished an entire bottle and I repurchased it here in Europe, and I'm gonna grab it, but it came in a squeezy tube rather than this glass bottle. And you can see, like, I got the shade 120 and it looks very, very dark, and I thought I was going crazy, but this is also 120. So I don't know if I got this online on Amazon. I'm pretty sure I got it through like the Maybelline distributor, not like a third party, but this just looks weird. So I ended up picking this one as well, just to see if there's a difference. I'll use this one in my ranking because I know that this is the correct bottle, but I was kind of just confused. Sometimes with Europe to America, brands will kind of change it. I think it's based on ingredients, because I got the Maybelline Super Stay Skin Tint and the shades are different. Like here I have shades 3 and 6, whereas in America, their shades are completely named different. So I don't really know what goes on with that. I don't work for the brand, but I did pick up some Maybelline foundations that I was missing. They're just less expensive in America versus here for drugstore foundations. And I really wanted to be thorough with that video. I'm excited to do that. It's gonna take me a long time to get through it, but that's all right. I did pick up the Maybelline Eraser. I've gone through an entire one of these, but I wanted to pick up the Viral 160 shade, the rose-colored brightening one. So I got this. I did also get one of the new L'Oreal Infallible blushes. I got the shade Fearless Coral. So I'll probably be doing just a full face of drugstore, maybe. You'll have to let me know down below in the comments just what kind of videos you want to see on any of this stuff that I'm going to talk about today. And then I picked up some Flower Beauty. I have been wanting this concealer, this Get Real Serum Concealer, for a very, very long time. I've seen a few people talk about this and how much they love it, so I wanted to try it. And then I just picked up the foundation at the same time. I had to write the name at the bottom because the label was kind of coming off. So just so I could remember the shade of it. It looks very liquidy, very oily, so I think that's why the label kind of came off. And then the last thing I got was the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation, which Catrice is a European brand. I probably could have picked it up, but I had an Ulta coupon. I figured, why not just throw that in there? So that's kind of all the drugstore stuff. Let's go over this. This is from What's Up Beauty. And so they were doing a 40% off sale. And if you're new to What's Up Beauty, they're actually based in Arizona in the Chandler Mall. So you can do a pickup in store, and they were doing 40% off. So I had my mom go pick up my order instead of shipping it. Much easier. So I got the full brush set because it was 40% off. And then I got the Monsoon palette. And I actually got it because I purchased the Geode palette. So I have that here set aside, but I had it shipped here. So I had already had this waiting to do a video on. I will show you what both of these look like. So here is the Geode palette. And then the Monsoon palette, Desert Monsoon, looks like this. So I don't know, they were doing a sale. I couldn't resist. I've been wanting the brushes, but they were quite expensive for brushes. They're supposed to be made in Japan. So 40% off is a little bit more worth it to me. And I don't know, it was kind of extra special that it's based in Chandler. That store has been there for years in Chandler. I actually used to work in the Chandler Mall for a very long time. So I used to see that store all the time before they really just became hyped up and started doing beauty. They actually started as a nail store and you could get indie brands there before they started doing palettes. So it's a cool little like 180 for me. But I figured I could do a video comparing the two palettes using the brushes, and we'll make this like one video. That is on my list to do. So I did get those. And then a few other small things. I really didn't, I mean, I can't say I didn't get that much. Like looking at it, it doesn't look like a lot, but it's still, you know, quite a bit. Let's grab this. This was one more thing I got from Ulta. I think that's the last thing. Yes, is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Dark Spots, the new concealer. I wanted this instantly when I saw it come out because I love IT Cosmetics base products. I really love the CC cream. I talk about it all the time. I really wanted this, but they have not launched this in Europe yet. I asked them on Instagram when they're going to, and they basically told me like, we have no idea, which is a weird answer to me. It's been months, it hasn't come out, so I figured I'll take advantage, purchase it now. And then I also picked up the new Bobbi Brown Sculpt and Glow palette. I got the shade medium. So I'll be doing like a review on this. This is fairly new. Now I picked up medium because I already have the highlighter that was in the light palette, the pink. So that's why I went with this. I think that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be brighter. I've really been loving just like an orange blush. And I don't think the bronzer is gonna be too dark. So I'm pretty excited for this. The markup in Europe, I was originally going to try and purchase this on the Bobbi Brown French website, just because it's easier, save space in the suitcase, etc. And the markup was crazy. It was almost like $20 US more to purchase it in France. So I was like, no, I'm gonna take advantage of getting it for cheaper here. And then I also got this Danessa Myricks, the Yummy Skin Balm Powder. This is not new. I got the shade 3. And I picked this up because I think that she was doing a pretty good discount on this balm because it was like 1 year that she had launched this. And I haven't seen like too many in-depth reviews, but I know that this is like a polarizing product. So I wanted to try it for myself since it was on sale. I also reached out to Danessa Myricks. I emailed them. I reached out multiple different ways and didn't hear from them to see if they would do the discount code on the French website. They never got back to me. So I ended up picking it up there and sending it. I'm very excited to just like see my thoughts on this. This looks darker than I was expecting. And I watched some reviews, mostly just to shade match myself. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. But I'm excited to try this. And then last, there's not too much left of like things that I purchased. There's these two things. So let's do this first. I picked up the Dominique Cosmetics I can't get in Europe. I mean, I probably could order it and pay international shipping, but paying international shipping on top of custom fees, it just gets crazy. So I finally picked this up. It's been on my list forever. The Dominique Cosmetics pink powder, since the Huda Beauty one is always out of stock. And then another concealer. I am swimming in concealers. I might do like a battle of concealer. You're gonna see the products that I ordered from like the Sephora sale here in Europe that I didn't bring over. I still need to go through all that with you. But I have this one, I have the IT Cosmetics, I have the Flower Beauty, and there's more concealers. You know, I picked up the Tom Ford, I picked up the Natasha Denona. You'll see that in a second, spoiler alert. But there's a lot of concealers, and I'm just trying to decide how to incorporate that. So I'm thinking doing like a battle of concealers and just making it like testing all of them out and talking about them kind of like in a roundup. Let me know if that sounds good down below in the comments. And the last thing makeup wise is this This is from Yensa. I picked up their new cream blush. I picked up the shade Ginger Blaze. I only got one. And then I got their travel size of their BC foundation, like a BB and CC cream. I picked up the travel size only because I wanted to make sure I got the right shade. I figured it was better to spend $15 on this teeny tiny little one than a full size. I'll see if I like it, and then if I do, I'll pick up the full size. But I have so many foundations clearly that this travel size will probably last me forever. And that is all of the things that I recently purchased that was beauty related. I'm gonna go over just some specialty items from America that I was just like craving and wanted and needed that I picked up. So again, chapters if you're not interested, but this is all food stuff. There's not that much. Food stuff that I can't get here. Velveeta cheese. I don't eat this very often. It's a treat. I actually got 2 boxes and it's for mac and cheese. You can't really get American mac and cheese here. It doesn't exist. I mean, why would it when France is literally the country of cheese and there's so many better cheeses? Could I make a better mac and cheese from scratch with like amazing cheese? Yes. Do I just sometimes want Velveeta mac and cheese with the shells? Yes, I do. So I got 2 3-packs. This will last me like a year. It's for just those days I need some American comfort food. And I can just make the pasta. It has like little pouches. I'll show you. So you just make the pasta and you squeeze the little pouch on it. And I have my American mac and cheese. I usually will put some pickled jalapenos in there too. That's kind of my thing. So I picked up this and then I kind of was just going through a midlife crisis and got candy. What's interesting about this is that most of the candy that I bought, like I can't even remember when I lived in America. I can't even remember like the last time I went out and purchased this candy, but I was feeling very nostalgic. It's kind of like you want what you can't have. So I figured I'd take advantage and I picked some candy up. Oh, I missed a beauty product. That's gonna mess up chapters. That's okay. So I got Twizzlers. I wish I had gotten the other Twizzlers. These are like the pull ones. I didn't realize it, but you can't get Twizzlers here. And I wanted some, so I have them. Again, this is not gonna be like a 1-month thing. This will probably last me like over a year, so I'm happy with that. And then they don't sell Nerds, so I got the Nerds gummy clusters. I am like a gummy candy person. I'm not a chocolate person. I like chewy things, so I got these. They sound a little bit broken. And then the last, there's 2 things in here. I put these in a Ziploc. I got Gushers and I got Jolly Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers are not chewy, but they're one of those things I feel like I can have 1 or 2 of them and they last a long time, so I feel like I'm getting a sugar fix. I primarily eat pretty healthy, which is why this is gonna last me just months and months and months. But those were just the American candies that I was just missing and craving. I usually don't have my mom bring too much food stuff, but I was wanting this. And then the last makeup item, I missed this because it was underneath my cheese, were these BK Beauty brushes. And of course, BK Beauty ended up running a Mother's Day sale after I'd already bought these, but it's fine. I bought their core line and it has 9 brushes. I've not opened this. So I'm gonna test these out and just see what I think of them. I did do a video on Odin's Eye not too long ago. Like I had an Odin's Eye mystery box. I'll link that video above. And I got a brush set in that, and I kind of felt like a hypocrite ordering these because in that video I said, oh, I don't really buy brushes. I have what I have. But I kind of been wanting these. So these are, there's 4 eye brushes here. And then I think these are face brushes. Anyways, all that to say is I do think now that I have these, I have the WhatsApp Beauty brushes, I have the Odin's Eye brushes, that I'm probably gonna do a brush declutter and just go through my brushes because I don't want to have 50 plus brushes. That's not interesting to me. It's kind of overwhelming. Here's the brush set. So here they are. It's So let me know down below in the comments again if a brush declutter is something you'd be interested in, and just see like which brushes I keep and which ones I declutter. I do want to test these first and make sure that I like these before decluttering a bunch of brushes that maybe I would rather have than these. But I can do that if you want. And that finishes the first suitcase. Now, the second suitcase is actually gonna be super quick. I'm not gonna go over product by product. The second suitcase was all things that were in my storage unit. And my storage unit has decreased significantly. I'm not even gonna go into a tangent on the storage unit journey that my partner and I have been on, because it's been a long one. We have a very small unit still. We're dwindling it down. It's getting there. But this was all from my storage unit. I'm gonna just show you what it is. It is all hair stuff. So I put it all in Ziploc bags just to make sure. But this is all hair stuff. There's like hair stuff, mostly samples that I've just acquired and never used. Hair stuff. Hair stuff. Let's see. Hair stuff. Why do I have so much hair stuff? I'd also love to know the answer to that. However, that is all the beauty products in the storage unit, so I at least feel good knowing that that's everything. I kind of had it all separated by category, and I had already brought over all the skincare and all of the makeup. All that was left was the hair. There goes my mom's dog. They're herding dogs, they're farm dogs, they bark. So it's all here, and quite honestly, this kind of stuff overwhelms me. Where was I? This kind of stuff overwhelms me because it's one of those things you just don't realize how much you accumulate over time when you just have like a normal home. Right now, I'm just kind of in between. I'm only renting this little apartment here while my partner and I get all of his paperwork together. And then eventually we'll like have a more permanent home. We really don't consider this our permanent home. This is really just a temporary place kind of in between. So I'm probably gonna go through most of this and donate it to like a women's shelter, I'm thinking, which is kind of a waste, like bringing it over. I should have just donated it to a women's shelter in Arizona, but it is what it is. You know, I'm not gonna have my mom like show me everything one by one on FaceTime. There's no point in that. So I have it now. You know, I'm gonna move forward with a new mindset of just not collecting all this stuff, because I do not do my hair this much to justify all of this stuff. But that's the second suitcase. And now that the second suitcase is done, we're nearing the end. I'm sure this is long enough already, but I figured while I was just showing off products and stuff, I'd show you what I picked up that actually just came directly to me, that I've been just not doing videos on. Like I said, it's been a very tough 2 months for me. I've had trouble just motivating myself to film, and I'm trying to, but I also don't want to just put out crap content. So here's what I picked up that I've been really excited about. I am actually mostly excited for the stuff in this box. This is what I keep all my new stuff in until I do a video. So I kind of just wanted to quickly go over it while I'm sitting down and doing this. Now, first things first, I made an order from e.l.f. I picked up the travel size of the Power Grip Primer with niacinamide. I didn't want a full size. I don't need a full size, but I picked that up. And then I picked up the blue color corrector because a lot of my foundations, I think, are a little bit more warm than I would prefer. So I picked up the blue color corrector as well as just a white to lighten things, because some things I purchased in the middle of summer when I lived in Cyprus. I've lived in Cyprus for 2 years. I was so tan that I wish I could go back to those days, but I was so tan, and that base products, they do not match me. So I'm hoping the white can maybe just color adjust if I need to. I picked that up because I was interested in it. This was actually from my K-Beauty haul. Everything that I'm wearing, since I'm talking about K-Beauty, is listed down in the description box, because I'm wearing from my K-Beauty haul this foundation here. I love it. It's not like best on camera, but for everyday, like very casual looks, this is perfect. I just have this in here because I haven't tried it yet. And then I purchased just a ton. I've been on like this huge indie kick. And I don't know, like it kind of just, again, it's just gotten out of hand. So instead of doing a video on each of these palettes, I might just need to do like a roundup. But I picked up the Adept Cosmetics palette. Is that how you say that? And this was on sale. I think they're discontinuing this palette after I purchased it. I think that's what I heard. This is the Emmanuette palette. So I picked that up. I did pick up the new Lethal Cosmetics Wildflower palette, and then I also picked up the Night Flower, the bundle. However, I was gonna actually do a video on this pretty quickly, and I might do a separate video because these are still pretty new. However, when I purchased this and it came in the mail, one of the shades, I'm gonna be very, very careful here. One of the shades was busted. I think you can see that. So I emailed Lethal and they sent over the replacement shade. It's in here somewhere. They sent over the replacement shade right away. I mean, they didn't question me or anything. I sent them a picture and they're like, the new shade's on its way. Very, very nice of them, but it took some time for it to come here. So I need to replace it and then do a video on that. I did also pick up this is from Mart's Makeup. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and I should because I'm French. This is a French indie brand. This is called the Serpent palette. I am so excited for this. First of all, the artwork is beautiful, and the inside is equally just like grungy, green, earth tone, kind of cool, kind of warm, a little bit unique here with these colors. I'm very excited for this palette. So because it was a French brand, I just had to pick it up. I'm really trying to branch out into indies, and I saw a French one. I was like, absolutely yes, doing that now. And then I did pick up the Blend Bunny Bare Cheeks face palette. This is my first thing I've ever ordered from Blend Bunny, and to be honest, there hasn't been a palette that super intrigued me yet. Their stuff's just very, very colorful, not my style, and I don't want to pick up a palette I know that I'm not really going to use. However, this cheek palette did look really nice, so I'll probably use that at some point. And then this is the Ensley Cosmetics Midwinter Dream palette, and this is how far behind I am because I've had this for a while, and now Ensley Cosmetics launched a new palette, the Flower Garden palette, something like that. However, I'm not going to pick that one up. That didn't look, it looked a little bit too dark for me, for my preferences. This looks so much more beautiful, and these like shimmer shades here, I'm so excited for, like these pastel shimmers. I really, really am excited for this palette. This palette was pricey to send over, let me tell you, just between conversion and custom fees. It was a pain. I don't know if I'll be ordering from them again just because of that. However, I am really excited to just try this out, try out the formula and see what I think of this brand. And then some more indie products that I have. This is from Shine by SD Cosmetics. This is the Dawn and Duality palette. This was like a collab with 2 Instagram creators. And this one I saw, I immediately knew I was gonna have to have. I think Annette Does Makeup did a review on these. They were expensive palettes because they're all like multi-chromes. They are beautiful. Let me look. Let me open both of these up. So this is the Dusk palette. And I've been really into these lighter multi-chromes. I don't want the really deep jewel tone multi-chromes. I want like these ethereal looking, like one shadow all over the lid, like just shines off your lid kind of shadow. And then this one is the Dawn. So you have Dawn and you have Dusk. Dawn's on top, Dusk is on the bottom. These were also very, oops, I just kind of messed it up. These were also very, very expensive for a multi-chrome. I mean, I expected that, but it was definitely a splurge for me. Just look at that though. That is so beautiful. I'm so excited for these. These came a while ago. I've just not had the energy to do video on them yet, but it's kind of motivating me going through all this actually with you. It's getting me a little bit more excited. So that's really nice. Now, we're almost through everything. Just some stuff. Do I have more indies? Yes. I picked up 3 here's that lethal shade. I picked up 3 shadows from Terra Moon Cosmetics. I have not tried this brand as well, and they came out with a shade. So I picked up Milky Way. I picked up, let me go over this one first, Winter Sun, and then I picked up the shade Eris. Now, if you have been part of my channel, you maybe heard me talk about my dog before. Her name is Eris, which is, to me, it's a pretty unique name. So I had to pick this up. I had to. I don't see that many things named Eris. I actually have a nail polish also from Ethereal Lacquers named Eris. So whenever I see it, it's one of those things I have to have. Eris, if you want to know the story behind my dog, she is a rescue dog from Cyprus. So I used to foster dogs in Cyprus because my partner and I, we had an Italian Greyhound for quite some time. And he was old. Unfortunately, he passed from cancer. And because we were traveling, he passed when we lived in the Philippines. Because we were traveling, we knew it wasn't the smartest choice to maybe get another dog. However, both of us, we are both very much homebodies and we love dogs. My dream is to open a Greyhound rescue. So we decided when we were in Cyprus, we were actually only supposed to be in Cyprus for a little bit of time. COVID happened and we were actually stuck in Cyprus because no flights were coming out. And we ended up staying in Cyprus for 2 years. So we decided, if we're here, like, let's foster dogs. Maybe we can't keep dogs, but we could foster them and we still get like the love of dogs and we can help out the rescue community, right? So we fostered 4 dogs and then we got Eris. She actually wasn't even supposed to be our foster. We were supposed to foster another puppy. And that day, the owner of the rescue sent me a text message and she was like, actually, I'm going to bring a different dog to you. She's 8 weeks old. She needs a foster more. So she brought her and her name was, what was her name? Her name was Ozzy when we got her, and like it didn't fit her. I wasn't really like a fan of that name. And I think instantly like we knew we were just going to keep her. I'm going to pop up a photo of her. I'm going to pop up like the photo the rescue sent me when we got her. She's like a little fat chunker. And I'll show you a picture of her now. But we were kind of debating like, okay, should we keep her? Like, should we not? Like, we really shouldn't keep a dog. And Cyprus is very Greek. So when we kind of decided we wanted to keep her, we wanted to give her a Greek name because it seemed fitting. And so I was looking up like on Google, just Greek goddesses because I'm basic like that. And Eris came up, and Eris is the goddess of chaos. And I just thought it was the most fitting name. First of all, she was a puppy and she was absolutely crazy nuts. She still is. She's still crazy nuts. And it just seemed fitting because we really shouldn't have had a dog. We really should have continued fostering, but we love dogs so much. And we were just like, you know what, we're going to make it work. And it just seemed fitting to have like this dog goddess of chaos coming into our life because we were just bringing the chaos. It really adds an extra element to traveling with a dog. And there's a lot more to consider. And I don't regret it at all. She's a great dog and I love her, but that's the story behind her name. Like I said, this was going to be Chatty. This is going to be Chatty. Now, let's get back to all this stuff. There's not that much left. The last indie, let's go over the last indie and then we'll do the mainstream stuff I got off Sephora. The last indie I got is from Ritual de Fille. I got their new foundation, the 3-drop weightless serum foundation. And then I saw on their website, they had like these eye soots, Ash and Amber eye soot. So I picked them up. They just look cool and different. It's just a single shadow, but it kind of looks different. I got the shade Cultist and the shade Half Light. So they look like this. I haven't opened like any of this stuff. And I'm just excited for this little taupe shade. So I'm going to try out the foundation, do a review on that, and then I'll just try out these little single eye soots at the same time. That's all the indie stuff though. I just have a few more things left that I picked up from Sephora. So I already kind of mentioned this, but I did pick up the new Natasha Denona concealer, picked up the shade N2, and then I also picked up the Tom Ford concealer. I've been wanting this for a long time, and I picked up the shade Silk. So I'm gonna see, I don't know how I'm gonna incorporate all these concealers. There's quite a bit. I think it's gonna have to be like a dedicated concealer video. This I almost forgot about. So this is the Ole Hendrickson Banana Bright Vitamin C Stick. So it's supposed to be like a color corrector under the eyes. Is this a concealer? I don't know. Hit or miss. It's kind of both. It's like a corrector, but it's kind of going into that concealer thing like I mentioned. It kind of was on like a multi-chrome kick and a concealer kick. So, again, why is that happening to me? That's weird, because this I didn't get from America. I got this in France. All right, kind of came out of the tube. Just gonna push this down. So, yeah, it's just like a brightening cream. I probably didn't need it. I already have one, and one's enough. It lasts so long. This one kind of intrigued me. It kind of just looked interesting. I liked how it was in stick form. Let's kind of see how it goes. And then two more things. I did pick up one of the new Giorgio Armani blushes. I picked up the shade 30 off Beat. I think that it's kind of like the orangey one. I have stuff all over me. Let's see what shade I picked up, because I don't even remember, but I think it was the orangey one. Yeah, so I picked up this one, and I mostly picked it up because the Neo Nude Color Balm that I have, let me find it, right here, is also the shade 30. Oh, I didn't know it was the same shade. Okay, so I have like the Neo Nude in 30 and this one, and I thought that originally I was like, well, this will go really good on top of this, and I think it will because they're both the same shade numbers. So I picked that up. And then the very, very last thing, I just want to make sure that that's everything, is the new Guerlain Summer Bronzer, which was, honestly, I probably knew that this wasn't going to go well. Usually I only try to purchase things like that I think will actually work out for me. You know, I don't want to purchase duds. I don't have brands sending me a bunch of things where I can just like waste my money on like maybe duds. I actually want to spend my money wisely. But I ordered the bronzer because it looked beautiful. I ordered last year's bronzer with the B, and I actually decluttered that. I didn't keep it. So I'm hoping that this one is better. But I think that it's the same shade, and it was just so orange, that B one. But because this maybe has more, the B had more of a highlight. It didn't have that much of a blush tone to it. And this kind of looks like it's gonna have more of a blushy tone to it. So I'm hoping that that redeems the color. This is very beautiful. However, I can probably guarantee that this like highlight here with the little bees is probably an overspray, because that's how it was with the B bronzer. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. This is my only one that's like iffy. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. And then some things that just haven't come yet. I did order the Glam Light Scooby-Doo collection, and I made a Cliona order with some iridescent multi-chromes, not too many, like 4. Still a lot for Cliona. And then what else am I waiting on? There was one other thing, but I don't remember. I'm not remembering it. It's been like 5 minutes. I've been trying to think of it. I'm not gonna look it up, but eventually you'll see it. So I am waiting on just a few more things. And then I think for the summer, I need to get like my spending under control, because it was a goal of mine to really cut back on spending. And I didn't do that these last 2 months because of just extenuating circumstances. I try to give myself a little bit of grace and understand that, you know, progress is not linear. Also remember that, like, you know, we can't just change overnight. Like, there's going to be ups and downs to things. So I try not to be too hard on myself, but definitely just going over this, like, it is something like I need to be more consciously aware of and make better decisions go forward. So I have a lot of content to film. I hope you're excited. I know I've said this a few times now, but let me know down below in the comments, like maybe the video that you'd be interested in seeing first, because I have quite a few to do. And that's really where I'm going to end this. I hope this was entertaining for you. I know it was a lot more chatty. I'm looking at how long this video is already, and I'm sure I'll edit it down, but not that much. So thank you if you're still here by the end of this video. I know it was long. I appreciate you all so, so much. Thank you for just being here and watching. I never thought when I started my channel, I know that everyone says this, but I never thought starting my channel I would just have so many friends. I am such a homebody. I don't have that many friends like in real life. So it's been a journey for me, and I'm very grateful. So thank you again, but here's where I'm gonna leave you. I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.